points a game, 42 minutes. He'll get a lot more shots tonight.
You know, Johnny, in the loss at San Antonio the other night, the guy who really stepped up with his best scoring game of the season was Travis Best.
Travis Best has been outstanding since he came over here in that trade with Indiana. 21 points in the game against San Antonio. Don't put him to the free throw line. He's murder from there, too.
He certainly has been. Marcus Fizer, meanwhile, returned to the rotation Thursday night in San Antonio with a double-double performance, 22 points, 12 rebounds. And the Bulls could use an effort like that to steal one deep in the heart of Texas tonight. Stay tuned. The anthem and lineups are next.
Chicago Bulls.
My name is Trenton Housel. I'm a rookie guard from Austin Peay State University.
Hi, my name is Travis Best, and I'm a 7th-year guard out of Georgia Tech.
Eddie Curry, a center from Thornwood High School in South Holland, Illinois.
Tyson Chandler, a forward from Dominguez High School in Compton, California.
What's happening? Jalen Rose, 8th season, University of Michigan Wolverines.
Let's take a look at the matchups brought to you tonight by Pepsi. Jalen Rose, Kenny Thomas, Walt Williams, Tyson Chandler, Eddie Curry. The Bulls will have size on their front line in their favor. Houston will start Moochie Norris in place of the Steve Francis, who, as I mentioned, not injured but has a headache condition that has plagued him throughout this season. Cuttino Mobley rounds out that starting five. We talked of him in the open. Kelvin Cato is a shot blocker that you'll have to be aware of inside if you're the Chicago Bulls. Earlier tonight, we had an opportunity to talk with Jamal Crawford, and 8 games into his comeback off ACL knee surgery this past summer. We asked him how he feels, how it's gone so far.
I feel great. I mean, my shot hasn't been there all the time, but I think that just comes with getting in shape and, you know, getting back out there. But I feel great being out there.
The injury itself, how's your knee felt?
It feels great. I mean, I haven't had any problems. People are really surprised by that. I mean, there's no swelling, no tendonitis, no nothing.
What's been the most difficult aspect about coming back?
Trying to get in the flow, get in the rhythm. I mean, I haven't played basketball in 7 months, so just jumping back out there has been kind of hard at times, but I think I'm going to get through it.
How do you like playing with Jalen Rose?
I mean, Jalen's great because when your best player is when you're most unselfish, it just rubs off on everybody. And he brings the confidence and kind of a swagger to the team, and I think we all appreciate that.
Comments of Jamal Crawford. As we are back in Houston, the Rocket lineup has been introduced to the crowd here. They've been averaging a little over 11,000 per game here in Houston, which is not a great attendance figure. But again, the hope is that once they move downtown to the new arena down there next to Enron Field, or right in the same neighborhood as Enron Field, that attendance will pick up.
Well, they want to be a little bit better than 25 and 39.
That would help,
you know,
regardless of what building you're in.
There you go.
There's a look at the all-time series. The last meeting, the Bulls won 103-75. The last time the Bulls won here in Houston was 1998, when Michael Jordan had to get 40 points for the Bulls to pull out a win. The officials for tonight's game: Derek Stafford, Leon Wood, Benny Adams. Got a motorcycle out there on the court, Red. Yeah. I don't think it's a Harley either. It's by the way, it's Clutch Bottlehead Night. Clutch is the mascot, or the guy who gets everybody around here fired up for the Houston Rockets. Pretty hard to have a Rocket as your mascot, so they've got something called Clutch. And
listen, if I forget this, I'll be in deep trouble.
Sure.
Happy birthday to Annabelle Aaron, which is tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. Aaron Kavanaugh Kerr, 2 years old, and she's sitting there watching our game out in San Bernardino, California, my granddaughter, and I must wish her that. While we get going, as I mentioned, March Madness in Chicago is the St. Patrick's Day Parade, and tomorrow will be a big one, too.
Indeed.
The South Side.
You'll be there, right?
I'll be there.
Rockets in the home whites, Bulls in the traveling black uniforms. There is Rudy Tomjanovich in his 11th season as head coach of these Rockets. Led them to 2 NBA titles in the mid-90s, the 2 years Michael Jordan took off. Red, Houston has won 6 of its last 10, 3 in a row off Western Conference contenders. They won at Minnesota earlier this week, beat Seattle and Utah here. So they feel like they've got things together. They're playing very good basketball right now.
Right. Kenny Thomas, I'm talking to some people, absolutely had a great game against Kevin Garnett up there, and they were battling all night long. And this might be a little bit different team, except tonight without the franchise in there.
Indeed, he makes a huge difference. He did not play in the Bulls blowout win in Chicago earlier this season. Tip controlled by the Rockets. Moochie Norris sets it up to Walt Williams on the wing.
Pulls in his zone right away.
Kenny Thomas moves it to Williams. Rockets a perimeter-oriented team with 3 to go on the shot clock. That one a little bit too far for Mobley, but Williams the rebound. Walt Williams with the jab step on Tyson Chandler. Now here's Kenny Thomas. Thomas gets the step down the lane, kicks it to the corner, was tipped by the Bulls. 9 to go on the shot clock for the Rockets.
Well, all that time they've had, the ball has not gone down the middle at all. It's been on the perimeter the whole time.
Williams from the outside for 3. And the rebound taken off the floor by Travis Best. So the Bulls finally come to the offensive end almost a minute into this first quarter. Hassel off a screen by Best. Rebound position 4 by Cuttino. Here's Moochie Norris. Norris quickly off a screen. Thomas just inside the arc. That's about his range. Kenny Thomas, when he steps behind the arc, really struggles there, but just inside the arc, he can hit that shot for sure. Thomas 0 for 15 on tray attempts. Travis Best sets it up for the Bulls. Best and Hassel, Jalen Rose, then Curry and Chandler. This is Jalen off the baseline. Nicely done. Norris off a screen by Thomas again. Quick release. Cuttino back taps the rebound to Thomas. Here comes Moochie Norris on the baseline. Nice feed to Kelvin Cuttino and one.
Well, that's 2 offensive rebounds they get, and Thomas scored on the first one, and now a drive to the basket and a foul on Chandler, his first one. Here's a nice kick out by Morris. Cuttino goes in, gets hit, makes the basket.
Kelvin Cuttino, one of the leading shot blockers on this team. Matter of fact, second in shot blocks at 1.17 per game. Puts into the 3-point play.
Actually, when they lose Steve Francis, they also lose their leading rebounder, believe it or not.
Exactly. Averages over 7 rebounds a game.
7 assists, 7 rebounds.
Best off the heel of the rim. Moochie Norris the rebound, and the Rockets move to the transition. Kenny Thomas, watched by Tyson Chandler. He'll take him off the dribble. Good ball movement around the perimeter. Mobley for 3.
Third rebound. Offensive rebound.
Thomas again. Walt Williams to Mobley. Mobley to the fall-away. Tough shot. Good defense by Travis Best. And again, Cuttino back taps the rebound. Norris can't connect.
It might be a little more difficult for the Bulls to rebound out of the...
On the drive, Jalen Rose and
yes,
one.
Sir. Jalen, nice move to the basket. Beautiful with the left hand. All right, take a look at this basket. He just takes what they were going to give him here, and it looked like, was that Cuttino that gave him foul number 2?
Kelvin Cuttino picks up his foul first.
Jalen talking to his teammates, saying get back on defense. A little tougher to rebound out of that zone thing. This is new for the Bulls this year. A lot of teams. And when you're going to get shots from the perimeter, and you usually do get a little longer bounce. Players are underneath that painted area, and it bounces out. A lot of guards pick up rebounds.
They get great spacing offensively, Red. Look at this middle wide open. Now Thomas, who's pretty good off the dribble, wild shot there. Last touch by the Bulls will belong to Houston. The Bulls cannot clear it from their end. If this was a hockey game, we'd be looking for the defenseman to clear it somehow. There's Bill Cartwright. His team now 12 and 27. And there's the offensive rebound story. Thomas from the outside. Cuttino the rebound. Add to the offensive total you just saw on your screen. Williams. Walt Williams steps away for 2.
I don't care how bad a team is in this league. You keep giving them shots.
Yeah, they're going to score eventually. And they're not going to have to shoot a high percentage if they're getting the kind of shots per possession that the Rockets are getting here tonight so far. Travis Best. They want to set up Chandler. He's got a mismatch down low with Moochie Norris.
3 seconds they called, yeah.
Yeah, they did.
You're right, he had Moochie Norris. Norris was doing a great job of staying in front of him.
3-second violation, yeah. The official score announced that
Defensive.
it was he announced that it was a foul on Chandler, and it was not. It was a 3-second violation on the Bulls. It was Eddie Curry who was in the lane. Walt Williams to Moochie Norris. Slow start for the Bulls, but they only trail 7-5. Almost 4 minutes gone by in this first quarter. Mobley steps away from Hassel. Cuttino Mobley having his best season in this, his 4th campaign out of Rhode Island. Jalen Rose. Nice back cut. Tyson Chandler in a chandelier jam. Good feed from Trenton Hassel.
Trenton Hassel looking right up there, and it was a good reverse. He came out, he was overplayed, he reversed to the basket, caught it, and deposited.
One thing the Bulls talked about this morning in their shoot-around practice was they want to attack inside against this team. Mobley pulls up. Hassel got a piece of it. Yes, he did. Rose sets it up for the Bulls. Jalen tried to feed inside of Tyson Chandler, denied by Kenny Thomas and Kelvin Cato. It'll belong to the Bulls with 11 to go on the shot clock. Travis Best on the inbounds. Jalen off a screen by roll for a thunder jam with the right hand.
Bread and butter play for Jalen Rose. He looks to come off a little screen, and if you're open, he gives you the perfect lead, and Eddie Curry gets it and cleans it up. Nicely done.
He almost threw that right through the floor. Not just the hoop, but through the floor. Off a screen by Thomas. Moochie Norris on the drive. Cato moves it quickly. Thomas just inside the arc. Kenny Thomas with a second from the field. He's got 4. Thomas has a nice jump shot. Shoots almost 50% from the field. Travis Best. Watched by Moochie Norris. Off a screen by Curry. Kenny Thomas chases down the rebound. Here's Norris. The lob backside for Cato. Not quite that time. Cato could not control it.
These are 2 teams that'll throw that lob a lot.
Chandler in traffic, left it short, goes right back after it. Back tap rebound, and the Rockets on the run. Walt Williams to Norris. Halfway through first quarter. Moochie looking for some help. Now takes it baseline. Finds Cato. Dives the lane.
They got a little screen roll herself.
They sure do. Pretty good one. 5 for Kelvin Cato. Rockets leading it by 4. Jalen Rose driving baseline. Blocking foul coming up against the Rockets.
Walt Williams trying to get in front of him, but
first on Walt Williams, second on the team. Timeout on the floor. Bulls are trailing by 4, but they have had their moments in the ball game here tonight, like this one. Chandler on a turnaround back cut and the chandelier flush. Back at the Compact Center, Houston with the 5 offensive rebounds has gotten twice as many shots as the Bulls so far here tonight, but this was a good one right here on the lead to Tyson Chandler.
And then here's another little drop to Eddie Curry, and so the 2 big rookies get nice feed baskets from Jalen Rose.
Both have recently read in the last, I want to say, week to 10 days, have hit a little bit of a wall, but trying to get them involved early will certainly help get them through that slump.
Yeah, if they don't get in foul trouble early,
right,
they get some good minutes.
Bulls resume offensively. Trenton Hassel for 3. Ring that.
Trenton had a big game in Chicago against his club. 7 out of 10 from the field.
Bulls back to within 1. Norris screen roll on the perimeter to Kenny Thomas. Takes Tyson off the dribble, blocked by Tyson Chandler, knocked out of bounds.
And did you see the good help Eddie Curry coming over to make sure that Chandler was protected on that drive? Nice Nice reaction by the two big guys. Here's the drive. There's Eddie right behind him.
Meanwhile, back live got a foul called. It's on Trenton Hassel on a hold. His first personal, second on the team. Norris off the dribble. Mobley around the screen, nearly threw it away. Travis was surprised. He got the ball thrown right to him, and he tipped it out of bounds. He was surprised that pass came that way.
They threw it off his hand.
Yeah. 5 to go on the shot clock for the Rockets. On the inbounds, time winding down. Williams for 3, not that time. Trenton Hassel out of the backcourt in a hurry. Travis, nice delivery inside. Rejected by Cuttino, it appeared. Moochie Norris back the other way. Norris on the drive, off balance shot. He got bumped and a foul. It'll count.
It's on Travis Best on the foul on the drive, but Norris gets the hoop, bangs around the rim. But Bill Cartwright still up on his feet, complaining down here. Here he comes in, runs into Eddie. Travis gets the foul.
So Moochie Norris heads to the free throw stripe. Norris, a left-handed shooter. Bulls talked about him today, trying to keep him away from the left hand.
We got 4 lefties out there. You got Jalen Rose, you got Best, Moochie Norris, and
Chandler inside.
That's 2 light ones. Chandler hasn't finished up. You know, he's gone to the basket.
He had the one big dunk, but Thomas on a line drive right on the money. Kenny Thomas with his 3rd from the field. He's got 6.
Now you got to worry about him setting Chandler up for that big drive and a wind-up hammer slam, which he can do.
Jalen Rose. Here comes Hassel down the lane. Nice move with the left hand. Switched hands in midair did Trenton Hassel. He's got 5 points in the game. Bulls down by 3 inside of 4 minutes to go in this first quarter. Norris around Kenny Thomas again. Pitch back to Thomas. Quickly Walt Williams for 3. Ring that.
They stay perimeter. They could care less about Cuttino except on a screen roll.
Bogdanovic reports on, replacing Eddie Curry for the Bulls. Meanwhile, Walt Williams leaves.
Terrence Morris comes in for Walt Williams.
Morris missed yesterday's practice here in Houston with flu-like symptoms. Better today. Travis Best is first from the field, coming off the 21-point performance at San Antonio earlier this week.
This is pretty good balance by both teams. Everybody played here scored for both teams.
There's that screen roll on the perimeter, and it gets another open shot for Kenny Thomas. He's got 8 points. Thomas on 4 of 7 shooting from the field, and the Rockets lead it by 6. Jalen Rose off a screen by Dalibor. Norris on the run. Rockets have numbers if they want it quickly, and they do. Mobley on a double clutch to the left side. Bulls want a timeout. And they get it right here with 2:38 to go, first quarter. Rockets 24, Bulls 16, 11-4 Houston run. We'll be back.
Professor, we got issues with this ball.
Yes, number 8. We've been expecting you. I must show you our latest innovation. It's Spalding Infusion Basketball. When you find yourself in trouble, release the hidden micro pump and increase the air pressure. This should give you the edge you need. Use caution number 8. The Eastern Conference will stop at nothing to get this ball.
You've done it again, Professor. This is perfect.
Choose from the complete line of 5 new Infusion basketballs from Spalding.
Take a look at Cuttino Mobley on the drive a moment ago.
Comes off a nice rebound play and full court. He comes up here and he complains to the official thinking that Rose got him on a foul.
Again, the Rockets have mustered 23 shots here tonight. The Bulls just 14. Houston already 5 offensive rebounds.
Fives are in the game. The Bulls do not have an offensive rebound. They've got 6 off the defensive glass.
Here's Trenton Hassel. Rose into the lane against Cato.
Little bump with the shoulder. Nice job by Rose.
Jalen now with 7 on 3 of 4 shooting from the floor. Bullet feed inside Kenny Thomas from Moochie Norris. 10 points already for Thomas. Right back Trenton Hassel. Under 2 minutes to go first quarter, and the Bulls down by 8. Biggest lead of the night for the Rockets. Jalen off the baseline. You were mentioning the left-handers in this game.
Yeah.
There are 3 players in this game who began this season as teenagers. You realize that? Of course, we know the 2 for the Bulls, Curry and Tyson Chandler. The other,
Morris.
Nope. Eddie Griffin. He's 19 years old.
Yeah, I didn't see. Is he in here yet?
He's not at the game yet. No, I said he's going to be in the game.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. You tricked me with that one.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those SAT exam questions for you. Dalibor inside. Nice move there.
Dalibor takes a little bit of time to load up, but when he gets that footwork together, it's a nice move.
Moochie Norris driving on Travis Best. Kenny Thomas loose on the outside. The thing that Kenny Thomas, here's a lead. And he overshot him. Trenton Hassel had too much on that one.
Well, he led him towards the basket. It looked like Fives were turned the wrong way, turned to the outside.
Point on Kenny Thomas. He's the power forward for this Houston team, Red, and he takes because he's so perimeter oriented and so athletic, he takes your power forward away from the basket. And in most cases, that's a tough matchup for a lot of teams to make. Norris trying to penetrate, and he lost it. Jalen Rose comes up with a deflection, feeds Fizer on the drive. He's denied, but fouled by Kenny Thomas.
Tough play. Looked like Kenny Thomas had all ball, and he's saying, no, he warded me off with that hand. Rose gets the ball.
You be the judge.
Pushes it out, and here he goes up.
No, I didn't see.
I might have called that a block. I don't know.
I would have called it a block.
You know, I'm just looking at Trent Hassel's line. Pretty good line. He's got 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 points.
Not a bad start. Bulls fans, enjoy a great time out with your family, friends, or coworkers. Simply purchase 25 tickets or more, and you can receive a group discount or get 2 free tickets to the game of your choice. Tickets start at only $10. To plan a fun-filled group outing, call the Bulls 312-455-4000. Jamal Crawford, Fred Hoiberg check in for the Bulls. Fizer makes a pair.
The Bulls have a foul to take here should they decide to do it. You don't want to reach out there now and just reset the clock for them.
Matter of fact, there's a 9-second difference, shot clock to game clock. Moochie Norris. Cuttino Mobley. 3 to go on the shot clock. Mobley, got to the rim. And laid it in. Bulls quickly into the front court. And it's taken away. Here comes Norris. Feeds Terrence Morris. And the Rockets end the quarter on a run for a 30-24 lead. And in the first quarter, Kenny Thomas came up big, hitting 5 of 9 from the field, 10 points and a couple of rebounds. We head to the second quarter with Houston leading Chicago 30-24. Turnover really cost them an opportunity to cut into the Rocket lead and allow the Rockets, as the steal made there by Moochie Norris. And this allowed Houston, off the feed to Terrence Morris, to build their lead to 6. And the numbers from the first quarter, Bulls shot it pretty well, but so did the Rockets. A rebounding edge heavily in favor of Houston, including the offensive rebounds, big time in favor of the Rockets in the first quarter of play. Jalen Rose off to a good start from the field. He struggled at San Antonio, just 7 for 26 shooting.
Griffin now in the game with Brown.
Tierre Brown in the game for Houston, as you mentioned, Red, and quick turn off the baseline, but Pfizer wouldn't go. Set the Rocket lineup for you as they set up on offense. Mobley, Brown, Thomas, and of course Eddie Griffin, as you mentioned, and Terrence Morris, and they spread the court once again. Mobley over Hoiberg. Mobley with 8 points. Mobley's already muscled up 9 shots in this a little over a quarter of the game. Rose missing there. Griffin the rebound. 19-year-old rookie. Eddie Griffin played 1 year at Seton Hall. Miscue there by the Rockets. A little flip pass went right off the hands of Cuttino Mobley. Tierre Brown, ill-advised pass, didn't have the spacing. Here's Pfizer. Charles Oakley up high. Pfizer posting down low, and it knocked away. Backs in on Kenny Thomas. Crawford from the outside for 3. Good to see Jamal hit his first shot, Red. He has struggled in the last couple of games with his shot. Bulls back to within 5. Oh, turning the corner, Tierre Brown sets up the shot from the outside for 3 by Terrence Morris. Yet another 3-point shooter for the Rockets.
Bulls still looking for their first offensive rebound.
Out of the corner, the jumper is good by Oakley. Brown sets it up. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter. Thomas on the drive, stopped, and a foul coming up. It's on Oakley.
Cameraman took the worst of that deal.
Yeah. Charles' first personal, first on the team.
Little move by Thomas to the left, and
Thomas, the star of the first quarter, with 10 points. On Friday, March 22nd, with the Bulls battle the Portland Trailblazers, it's Sears Appliances and Electronics Night. While supplies last, all fans entering the United Center receive a Bulls visor. Compliments of Sears Appliances and Electronics. For tickets, call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or visit bulls.com. Thomas splits a pair. Rebound cleared by Pfizer. Crawford pull up. Brown on the run for the Rockets. And again, they space the floor. Pitch out to Thomas. Griffin had a notion for the 3, passed it up. Hoiberg the rebound. Racing is Rose.
Beautiful.
On the reverse.
Very beautiful. Came across the basket and swung it back over his shoulder, up and in.
Bulls back to within 5. Eddie Griffin. Oakley trying to chase down the rebound. Brown gets to it. And a bullet feed to a wide open Cuttino Mobley inside. 10 for Mobley. Rockets by 7. Pfizer goes to work. Foul coming up against Houston. Blocking foul coming up on Brown. It's his first. First on the team. Bulls will be shooting when we resume. Much farther here. Let's see what's coming up on WGN.
After a family is massacred, one reporter will uncover the truth and start a war. Charles Bronson, Messenger of Death, tonight at 11:30 Eastern on WGN Superstation.
Bill Cartwright looking on. His Bulls trailing by 7. Biggest lead of the night for the Rockets has been 8 points. Marcus Fizer heading to the free throw stripe. Fizer hit a pair of free throws in the first quarter. Makes good on the first here. Tuesday, March 19th, Bulls battle the Atlanta Hawks. Comark night. While supplies last, all fans entering the United Center receive a hat commemorating the 10th anniversary of the Bulls' 1992 championship. Compliments of Comark. For tickets, 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or visit bulls.com. Five-point lead, Houston. Tierre Brown sets it up for the Rockets. Griffin. Lange has just reported on now for Houston. Here's Griffin at the ring, steps inside the arc, and a brick. Maybe he ought to shoot all his shots at the arc. Lead for Crawford from Hoyland and one.
Boy, I think Crawford was going to dunk that ball. It sort of slipped out of his hand as he went down. A nice lead by Freddie Hoiberg to get it down to him, and it looked like
Tierre Brown got him on the little touch foul. Second personal on Brown. Jamal makes good on the free throws. Got 6 quick points here in the second quarter.
Down by 2 now.
Bulls with Rose, Crawford, Hoiberg, Fizer, and Oakley. You can play a lot of small lineup against Houston because they're small almost all the time. Mobley inside creates a foul. It's coming up on Jamal Crawford. And Jamal picks up his first. Second on the team. Jamal, our guest, just prior to the opening tip. Reports no problems, Red, physically with that knee. But the one thing he did mention is something that I think we've all seen, and that he's having trouble getting back into the flow. He hasn't played basketball in so long. That's the thing. And it takes a while to get back into the flow of it. But that will happen. That will come. And his shot will improve.
Hey, he should get a lot of time here. He'll be splitting time with Best now the rest of the season.
Cuttino Mobley off to an excellent start. 12 points. We talked of him in the open without Steve Francis, who's out of this ball game due to headache condition. Cuttino Mobley can create a headache all by himself for the opponent. Fizer turning quickly, baseline to the reverse. Rockets able to clear. Brown stop and go on the drive, was tied up by Crawford and jumped it up. Wow, that was well done by Jamal Crawford. I thought they were going to call a foul for sure there. But watch the work defensively by Crawford.
Beautiful job. Tom Janovich jumped off the bench with that. He says, no, that was a foul. Good play.
Excellent play. Wow, look at him wrap
right there.
His hand around that ball. Brown and Crawford, and the tip controlled by Crawford to Hoiberg. Now Jamal sets it up. Bulls back to within 4. The lob, Fizer inside. Nicely done.
Pass over the top by Rose, and Fizer gets his first basket.
6 points for Marcus. 7.5, around 7.5 minutes left to go in this first half. Griffin for 3. Oh, Brown in between the trees to pick off that rebound putback. How does that happen? Tierre Brown just 6'1", if he's that high. Jalen Rose. There's the rebounding story. It's been Houston on the rebounding end. Tough shot there by Jalen. Got knocked to the floor. Didn't get a call. Brown running the break. Kick out Lange. Out of the corner for 2. Rockets back up by 6 now. Hoiberg clears on the elbow. Back tap by Oakley. Fresh shot clock Chicago. Rose clears off a screen by Oakley. The jumper over Griffin. Heel of the rim. Terrence Morris to Tier Brown. Morris looking to take Pfizer off the dribble, sets up Brown for three.
Yeah.
How many long rebounds tonight, Red, have gone to the Rockets?
Well,
how many?
You saw the miss and a pickup by Brown and a layback in the easy basket.
Bulls have had a heck of a time cleaning the defensive board. Mobley got a good look there. Mobley has not shot it at a high percentage. Around 5 of 11. Not horrible, but it's not great. Rose got all the way to the baseline. Oakley pitches to Crawford. Good ball movement. Hoiberg for three. Ring that. Good ball movement around the perimeter there by the Bulls. And Chicago back to within 3. And the Rockets want a timeout. 5:23 to go in the first half. Rudy T and the Rockets have been playing on the lead throughout. A week from tonight, 6 o'clock on WGN television. Our next Superstation broadcast, the Bulls and Cleveland Cavaliers, Saturday, April 6th, 7 o'clock Central Time on the WGN Superstation.
Now the Bulls have 12 assists on 16 baskets. Pretty good ball movement on the offensive end of the court. Take a look at this last play.
Well, maybe we won't.
Yeah, all right.
Here, no, we will.
All right, pass from Oakley around into the corner from Crawford to Freddie Hoiberg, who hits the open three. So the Bulls back here trailing by 3, 44-41. And they haven't been able to capture offensive rebounds.
Griffin out front. Lange comes high. Lange from deep. Pfizer the rebound. Marcus, in his performance the other night, Red, in his double-double performance, did a good job on the offensive glass in that game. Oakley gets a look and hits. Pfizer in that ball game had 6 offensive rebounds in San Antonio, which is a pretty good job by any stretch of the imagination, and certainly for Marcus, who is not known as a great offensive rebounder, or at least hasn't been so far in his career. Lange off the rim.
Uh-oh, here goes. Come on, Oak, catch up to it.
Can the old guy get to it? The oak tree flags it down, and now feeds Trenton Hassel in close. Knocked out of bounds by the Rockets. Lange knocked it out.
Hear that noise? That sounds like something going off a finger. Boom! When that hits your finger, it just stows it right in. The Bulls have a chance to take the lead on this possession.
So you're telling me somebody's going to have a fat finger tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
Inbounds to Hoiberg. Quick release. And the Rockets clear. Eddie Griffin with the rebound. Griffin step back to the arc. Gives it up down low. Brown on the drive, blocking foul. Hoiberg. Freddie's first.
Wide open move to the basket here this time by Brown, and foul on the Freddie Hoiberg.
Fred did not score at San Antonio. He had played 14 minutes of that game, but boy, the other things he did as Brown makes good on his first at the line. Bulls fans, enjoy a great time out with your family, friends, or coworkers. Simply purchase 25 tickets or more. You can receive a group discount or get 2 free tickets to a game of your choice. Tickets start at just $10. So to plan a fun-filled group outing, call the Bulls 312-455-4000. Brown splits a pair, and here come the Bulls, trailing by 2. Trenton Hassel against Lange. On the drive.
Nice with the left hand. He got it back, put it in with the left hand.
7 for Trent. On the drive. Brown
offensive
inside.
foul. Good play by Oak. Good play. Oak stepping out in front.
It's a 3rd foul on Tier Brown.
Watch Oakley get out here and get the good position as he makes the cut here on Hassel. But who does he run into? An oak tree.
And down he goes.
Freddie leaves now, and Jalen Rose comes back with 3:39. We got a tie game, 45 all, and the Bulls are just been mincemeat on the offensive boards, and they're still in there.
I meant to finish my thought on the San Antonio game with Hoiberg. Though he didn't score in 14 minutes, he grabbed 8 rebounds and had 2 assists in that game.
I said to him, going up in the elevator, I said, Freddie, you were up there with the trees. He said, yeah, it must be crazy.
8 to go on the shot clock. Pfizer, quick move on Thomas. Oh,
yeah, wow.
Done.
Oh, he went with that left hand, turned it into the right hand, and beautifully taking advantage of Thomas, who got his way in the first quarter. Watch him face, take it hard. Now he goes with the left hand and then comes up with the right hand, lays it over the rim. Good play by Marcus Pfizer, taking it hard to the basket.
Pfizer puts in on the three-point play. The foul on Kenny Thomas was his second. It was the third on the team. Moochie Norris. Coming up with 3 minutes to go, first half. Kenny Thomas. Solo against Pfizer. Rockets like to do some isolation. And this is the case right here with Thomas. Stripped away by Travis Best. Well done defensively. Bulls have numbers if they want it. Oak into Pfizer. Marcus the turnaround over Thomas. And Marcus Pfizer starting to heat up now.
9 in this quarter.
11 in the game. And the Bulls on top by 5. Moochie Norris. Tried to pitch it to the wing, and right there was Trenton Hassel. Tipped away from behind by
he fouled him.
And a foul. Moochie Norris commits the foul.
Well, I don't know. I didn't know if Trenton heard anybody coming or anybody warned him on that, but we got a timeout. The Bulls will have the ball in their possession when they come back with a nice 5-point lead, Wayne.
And we got a timeout on the floor. Bulls will talk things over. They're on a 12-1 run to a 50-45 lead inside of 2.5 to go in the first half. And Marcus Pfizer has been the spark.
Yeah, great move here around Kenny Thomas. He makes the basket, gets the free throw. Gets the ball from Travis Best on the side, or from Oakley on the side. Oakley clears out. Little move. Half a jump hook in there. Nice going. 9 points in this quarter, 11. And to me, I don't like when Pfizer is in the starting lineup, because I think he can give you this off the bench. The Bulls need somebody to punch, some go-to guy, and he has been that guy for him.
He has scored the last 5 points for the Bulls here in this first half. Jalen Rose with 10 to go on the shot clock.
Offensive
and what do we get?
Foul on Pfizer, trying to slide down the lane.
First foul on Marcus. See that, Red? We do all that package on Marcus Pfizer and we jinx him into a foul, don't we? Moochie Norris. They're going to have Moochie Norris bobblehead doll night here at the Compact Center in the near future. And Eddie Griffin to the outside for 3 and air ball that time. It'll belong to the Bulls.
He shot it every time he's got it, and he hasn't really been on. He missed one, and Brown grabbed the rebound, put it back up. Here comes Tyson Chandler back in.
Well, Griffin is 0 for 5 to kind of underscore what you just said in 10 minutes off the bench. Tyson back in. Well, we're going to have Moochie Norris bobblehead down night, but they're going to have lifelike hair. So you can braid it if you want to, or you can let them go au naturel with a full flung afro. Tonight, Moochie wearing the braids. Jalen Rose pitches back outside. Best for 3. Halfway down, wouldn't stay. Trenton Hassel in among the trees, cannot corral. Cato takes it away.
First time the Bulls had their hand on an offensive rebound. That time weren't quite able to corral it.
Off the screen, Norris. Screen roll. Cato off the glass. You mentioned they only look for him on screen roll, and that was a classic case. Bulls lead down to 3. Tyson up high. Jalen circle routes. Chandler on the block. Backs in on Walt Williams. Left it short. Rockets on the move. Mobley.
Oh, that's no backing over.
No, you got to be all the way over and then go back. He was halfway. He was sitting on the fence. Here's Mobley penetrating to the left hand and one. Beautiful drive by Cuttino Mobley. Trenton Hassel picks up the foul.
Tore that interior defense right apart going down there. So they decided to stay away from the long distance shot here. Mobley takes it right himself.
Mobley puts in on the three-point play, has 15 points in the game, 9 of which have come here in the second quarter. So he's kind of matched Marcus Fizer's output.
The Bulls had a 50-45 lead and they haven't scored yet.
Jalen Rose to get him off the schneid.
Is that a long deuce? Or?
Yep, a long deuce.
Okay.
So the Bulls now lead by 2. Apparently the Rockets, the ball wasn't ready to be inbounded when the Rockets put it in play. This allows the Bulls to set up a little full court pressure here if they want. They double team the inbound target. Williams has to come back for it. He's picked up by Jalen Rose. 15 to go on the shot clock. Norris trapped near the midcourt stripe. 10 to go on the shot clock. Cuttino Mobley picked up by Hassel. Mobley on the drive. Fade away short. No, but a foul.
Looked like he threw that ball up to Cato.
Oakley picks up his second personal foul. Bulls are over the limit anyway. And Cato will be heading to the line. It's hard to tell, Red, you're right. Was that a pass or was that a shot? It could have been either, but it was short, whatever it was. And the foul by Oakley bailed out the Rockets.
A.J. Gayton coming in now. Bulls have a 20-second timeout to take if they.
Cato bricks the first. On Tuesday, March 19th, the Bulls battle the Hawks. Comarch night while supplies last. All fans entering the United Center receive a hat commemorating the 10th anniversary of the Bulls' '92 championship run. Compliments of Comarch. For tickets, 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or visit bulls.com. Oakley left the lineup and
A.J. Gayton came in. 13-6 on the clock.
Want to get an extra shooter in there. Cato makes 1 out of 2. So pressure in the backcourt now by the Rockets. Bulls trying to get it across. Time winding down to the half. Bulls spread the floor. Travis Best penetrating. Puts up a floater. As time expires, it comes up short. Marcus Fizer did give the Bulls a lift in that second quarter. And matter of fact, at one point, the Bulls held a 5-point lead. Marcus with 9 in the quarter, 11 in the first half for the Chicago Bulls, who lead by the slimmest of margins as we reach halftime at the Compaq Center in Houston. It's 52-51 Chicago.
This out. The Nuggets, Tim Hardaway throws a TV last night. Frustrating game. He missed tonight's action. 2-game suspension. Calvert Kinney trying to take up some of the slack, and there he goes in for the scoop. But Miami off to a quick lead in this one. Rod Strickland, the drive and the foul here. He began the night a game and a half out behind Charlotte for that last playoff spot in the East. And let's check the action on that game now. Heat up on top big, 76-56 now in the third quarter. And as for the Hornets and Paul Silas, they're trying to keep hold of that last playoff spot in the East. They're playing against the Suns tonight. Joe Johnson admits at midcourt to Sean Marion for the big jam. Suns on a 4-game skid, and the Hornets come back to take a lead in this one. Baron Davis sets up George Lynch as they battle in Charlotte tonight. On the board, there you see it. Phoenix on top, though, 65-63 now in the fourth. Other action, Milwaukee playing Detroit, and also San Antonio playing Boston tonight. Okay, when we come back, the NCAA tourney, Notre Dame and Duke going right down to the wire. Stay with us for that. He gave his men all he can handle. Ryan Humphrey, the rebound and the slam. Irish by 7 with 6 minutes to go, but Duke kept its poise and came back behind the freshman Danielle Ewing with a career-high 18. Duke survives 84-77 on Notre Dame on the eve of St. Patrick's Day. There was no survival, though, for Jim O'Brien and Ohio State. 12-seed Missouri pulling up a second straight upset. Clarence Gilbert for 3. Tigers led 28-19, and the Buckeyes, no dice today. Ricky Paulding roars in for the big slam. Missouri wins it 83-67 over 4th-seeded Ohio State. Other NCAA winners this afternoon, Kent State, Kentucky, and also Arizona. More on this after the game. A preview of the Illini-Creighton battle also ahead, so we'll see you then after the ballgame.
Put on a spurt, Johnny Red Kerr, that got them eventually a 5-point lead and settled for a 1-point lead at the break.
Yeah, they did a nice job in that second quarter. The first quarter they came out and they went into a zone defense right away, and the Rockets took advantage of missed shots from the outside to get a lot of offensive rebounds. And then the Bulls finally got it together, and Pfizer led them in that second quarter to the 1-point lead they have here at halftime. And let's take a look at some of the highlights we had. First one we see is Jalen Rose doing a nice job going on in, going against Cato, drawing the foul. 3-point play for him. Over the top, Chandler catches one and deposits it nicely in the basket. And then Thomas went to work. He had 10 first quarter points, did a nice job. And then Mobley on the drive. Terrific. And then in came Marcus Pfizer, second quarter. He takes it to the basket over Kenny Thomas, draws the foul, gets the basket. Nice job.
The numbers in the first half of play and the rebounding story should be reversed. 25-9 for the Rockets, 18-3 for the Bulls. Points off turnovers. The Bulls were able to capitalize a little bit there. Neither side doing a whole lot at the arc yet. And you get a look at the numbers in that first half of play. To be honest with you, you should reverse all of those 9 points in the opening quarter. 11 points for Marcus Pfizer, much of it in the second quarter on 3 of 6 shooting. For the Rockets, 15, Cuttino Mobley, 6 of 13 from the field. Kenny Thomas hit 5 of 9. Much of Kenny Thomas's good work came in the first quarter of play. Take a look at the Bulls' upcoming schedule, brought to you by your local Ford store. Quality people, quality products. And on Tuesday night, the Atlanta Hawks will be in town to take on the Bulls on Fox Sports Net. Friday night, the Portland Trailblazers, Scottie Pippen, our guy, bringing the hottest team in the NBA to Chicago, the Portland Trailblazers. And then the Bulls hit the road. WGN Chicagoland viewers only in Atlanta on March 23rd, a week from tonight. And then on Tuesday, March 26th, the Bulls will be at Orlando on WCIU Bulls Net. So there you have it, the schedule for the Bulls. Jalen Rose returning along with Trenton Hassel. Marcus Pfizer gets the start here at the outset of the second half, along with Eddie Curry. And Travis Best completes the 5 on the floor for the Bulls. Moochie Norris, Cuttino Mobley, Kenny Thomas, Walt Williams, and Kelvin Cato on the floor for the Rockets as we start the third quarter. The Bulls on the inbound, pressure in the backcourt. Travis Best moves it across. Gets a nice screen from Pfizer. First field goal for Travis, second field goal for Travis Best. I beg your pardon. He's got 4 points now. Norris, high screen from Cato, goes the other way to Thomas. This is Walt Williams, and Rose right on him at the arc. He's a good outside shooter. Williams into traffic. He double dribbled it. Jalen Rose right. He double dribbled on that play, and they didn't call it. 7 for Walt Williams. Travis Best. Down low to Pfizer. He had Mobley on him. Inside Eddie Curry. Good interior pass there by Pfizer. Eddie Curry. Bulls by 3. A minute gone by. Third quarter. From the outside, Kenny Thomas just inside the stripe. 13 for Kenny Thomas. Best off a screen by Marcus. Rose trying to space the floor, gets Curry up high. And Curry and Rose came together, and that was a mismatch. A miscue, I should say, on the part of the Bulls. Pfizer left to take an outside shot, and here come the Rockets off the miss. Jalen was really upset on that play because apparently the rookie, Eddie Curry, went to the wrong spot. Cato goes to the right spot, right down the middle of the lane. Kelvin Cato with 10. Rockets by 1 as we begin a seesaw here in this third quarter.
Off his foot.
Jalen dribbled it right off his foot, but to Travis Best. Best into the lane. Nice move there. Travis with 6. He's hit 2 field goals here now in the third. Bulls by 1. Cato off a beautiful feed from Moochie Norris. 12 for Kelvin Cato. The defense lacking on both sides in the early going of the third.
Eddie undecisive whether to really go after the man driving or Cato following it up.
Bulls basketball on the side with 12 to go on the shot clock. Moochie Norris took that one out of play. Had to circle back from the stands. Cato knocks away the inbounds of Curry. From belong to Chicago. Calvin Cato with those long arms.
Well, try to not to stand and wait for the pass. Try to meet the pass.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yes. Best on the drive. Wide to the left hand. Rims it in.
3 baskets in his quarter. 8 points for him.
Norris sets it up for the Rockets. There's that screen roll out front. Kenny Thomas. Norris out of the corner. Curry backtaps the rebound. Pfizer with great hustle chasing it down. Good play by Marcus. Now he looks to make a play. The flop by Walt Williams. They didn't buy it. Cato the block. Moochie Norris in transition. Kenny Thomas down the lane. Foul coming up.
Eddie standing looking at him and picks the foul up.
First on Eddie Curry.
Down on this end, Williams went down on a flop, and then Cato blocked that shot of Pfizer.
Now on the other end.
Yeah, here comes Kenny Thomas. Missed the shot, got it back, and Eddie just not reacting out there.
The Rockets in the first half, Red, had 9 offensive rebounds. And this is not a great offensive rebounding team.
Yeah, I still think that you have a better chance at offensive rebounds when your team shoots a lot from the outside, because then that ball flies out to the guard positions, and that's where they got a lot of them.
Thomas missed them both, yeah. So the Bulls dodge a bullet on that trip. Still lead by 1. Travis Best off a high screen from Eddie Curry. Jalen Rose trying to direct traffic out there. Best penetrating, pulls up, gives it to Curry. Tied up by Cato.
Jump ball.
Yep.
Jump ball.
Good play by Kelvin Cato.
Cato's played very well tonight. Defensively, a couple blocks, tie up here. Best throws to Eddie. Eddie tries to go up and looked more like it was a little bump foul, but
yeah. Kelvin Cato is 6'11". He's got the wingspan of a 7'47", and he has used it effectively here tonight. Jalen off a screen by Eddie Curry. Deep 2. Jalen Rose, who had 9 in the first quarter, 4 in the second, now has 15 for the game. Almost 4 minutes into the third quarter, and it's good to have you with us tonight for Bulls basketball. Cuttino Mobley watched by Trenton Hassel, who has his hands full tonight. Walt Williams off a screen by Cato. Williams gets the step on Curry, and then Eddie commits the foul. After letting him get by, he bumped him from behind. Second on Eddie Curry, second on the team. So a couple of shots coming up for Walt Williams at the line.
Walt Williams at the line.
Rockets are 21st in the league as a team, shooting 74.5% from the free throw line. Thursday Thursday, March 29th, the Bulls host the 76ers. It's Exelon night while supplies last. All fans entering the United Center receive a John Paxson bobblehead doll, courtesy of Exelon, proud parent of Hamed. For tickets, call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or visit bulls.com. So he makes a pair at the line. And the Rockets trail by 1. Thomas overplaying Pfizer. Marcus had to chase it down. 10 to go on the shot clock for Jalen Rose. Rose picked up on a switch, and they go down low to Marcus Pfizer. In on Walt Williams.
Right at the buzzer. Nice play.
13 for Marcus Pfizer. So he's put together a couple of good games on this Texas trip now.
He missed 3 games with a sore ankle.
Yeah, an injury incurred in pregame warmups before the San Antonio game in Chicago. Mobley steps away nicely. 17 for him. I agree with you, Red. I think Pfizer provides a nice lift offensively off the bench. He's looking for his shot. He's looking to make things happen. As a starter, sometimes you've got to let the game come to you a little bit more. Travis Best connecting from the outside. He had just 2 points at halftime. He now has 10 in the game, 8 of which have come here at the outset of this third quarter. Williams with Pfizer a little lax defensively. Make that Kenny Thomas. 17 for Thomas. Jalen Rose. That's a pass to Marcus Pfizer. Marcus backing in. Fall away on Thomas and the foul committed. Third on Kenny Thomas. First on the team here in the third quarter. And Pfizer going to the line.
Marcus Pfizer at the line. Shoots 2.
Well, Marcus hasn't missed here tonight. Neither have the Bulls at the free throw line. Boy, did I nearly jinxed him into that one. Let's pause for station identification.
Captain Dylan Hunt and crew must restore peace to a galaxy ravaged by war. Sunday, their adventure continues. Andromeda, Sunday at 8 Eastern on WGN Superstation.
Pfizer with his second. Makes good on a pair. The Bulls haven't been to the line much, Red. 9 for 9, however. They've made good on their opportunities there. Chicago by 3. Kenny Thomas, Walt Williams, essentially interchangeable athletes. Walt Williams a little bit better three-point shooter, obviously. Norris, nice feed. Cato inside. They collapse on him. He scores and a foul. Oh, that hurts. Marcus Pfizer with a foul, his second.
Penetration by the guards, able to get that. They went for a steal over on this side and then ends up with Cato getting the layup and the foul.
Here's the penetration you spoke of. Moochie Norris drops it inside Kelvin Cato. And then the collapse with Pfizer and Curry and the foul on Marcus Pfizer. I mentioned Moochie Norris bobblehead doll night, Red.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that's going to be, now that's not the bobblehead doll, that's the pin, but the doll will have real hair. So if you want, if you want Moochie to wear it in cornrows or braids or whatever, see, he's got the cornrows tonight, but it's your option.
I'm going to suggest that to Shanwall, Steve Shanwall, and maybe we can do that with Paxson.
John Paxson.
We can work on
Sure,
that. I know Benny the Bull's got a bobblehead night. We can't do much with him, but
we might be able to braid John's hair. What do you think? Sounds good to me.
I'll hear about that on the plane on the way home.
John Paxson's got more mileage out of that bobblehead doll promotion coming up at the United Center.
Well, he got more mileage out of hitting that 3 against Phoenix.
Yeah, almost as much mileage as he got out of that shot. No. Here's Pfizer, blocked by Cato. Wow. I'll tell you what, it's hard to make soup in that kitchen. Mobley crossed it over. Thomas from the outside. Boy, that's what they do well. They get penetration from those guards and they kick to the outside more often than not. And the Rockets now lead it by 2. Travis. Here's Jalen popping around the screen by Curry. Jalen has to step away. Difficult shot there. Kelvin Cato all alone for the rebound. Mobley ahead to Thomas. Kenny Thomas jab steps with the big fella. Takes Curry off the dribble. Jalen came over to help, and he gets called. No, it's going to be on Eddie Curry. I thought they might call Jalen for a reach, but Eddie Curry gets called for his third personal foul. It's already 4 on the team.
Well, as soon as Kenny Thomas sees that he's got the big rookie on him, he's going to try to take it to the basket.
Norris off a screen by Thomas. Mobley, quick release. Jalen's got the rebound. Bulls trailing by 2. Marcus paired against Cato. Takes him off the dribble. Blocked by Cato.
He just waited for him that time to put it up.
Walt Williams, 3.
That tells you.
Get a timeout, coach. Rockets extend to a 5-point advantage on an 8-0 run. Pfizer driving from the left side. Moochie Norris penetrating. Thomas just inside the arc. Bulls dodge a bullet. Jalen looking to set up the offense. Trenton Hassel with 10 to go on the shot clock. Travis Best has been the best player the Bulls have had here in the third quarter. Curry kept that alive to Pfizer. Fresh shot clock for the Bulls. No need to hurry. And Travis Best backs it out of there. Here's Jalen off a screen by Marcus Pfizer. Moves to Travis Best at the elbow. Cato cleans the board. Boy, oh boy. Cato's beginning to dominate here now, John. Moochie crossed it over. Cato missed at point-blank range. Jalen trying to make him pay on the other side, and does. Jalen with 17, and the Bulls back to within 3. Dalibor Bogdanovic off the Bulls bench. Will be checking in a moment. The 2-pointer by Jalen Rose snapped an 8-0 Houston run. Mobley's pass blocked by Hassel. Mobley. Jalen Rose another rebound. Bulls on the move. Rose. Oh, beautiful feed. Curry. And he's fouled on the way to the bucket. Kenny Thomas picks up the foul. It is his 4th. Second on the team. Timeout Bulls. 2:36 to go in the third. Chicago has slipped behind. Well, the action hot and heavy, especially on the Bulls offensive end, where the defensive Kelvin Cato has been felt with authority.
Yeah, they made a beautiful block on that shot by Pfizer, and then they come down off of this play. Morris hits the ball over to Walt Williams. He looks down. Look at that, 18 seconds on the clock, but he knocks a 3 to put them ahead by 5.
For Moochie Norris, his 15th assist of the night, Red, and that is a career high for him.
And we got 14 minutes and 36 seconds of play.
He tied his career high in the first half. He had 14 assists in the first half alone. There's a block shot situation. Boy, Houston has, over the last 9 games, been averaging 9 blocked shots per game.
Well, we get our first look at Jason Collier now in for them. Eddie shoots 2.
Collier in his second year out of Georgia Tech, an injury-prone player who they have some promise for, as Curry makes good on his first of the line. Missed the front half of the season on the injured list and got back last week.
No, the Bulls stay perfect at the free throw line. That's the good news.
And they're back to within 1 on the scoreboard. 2.5 to go, third quarter. Rockets playing without Steve Francis. He did not suit up for tonight's game, suffering from the headache condition that has plagued him off and on all season. Walt Williams misses there, gets a reprieve for 2. Trenton Hassel the rebound.
We also got news that Tyson Chandler won't be back. He's got an upset stomach.
Rose. Collier the rebound. Cuttino Mobley. Screen roll to Collier. No threat out there. Moochie Norris on the drive. Gets to the rim.
Right around Crawford as he went across that screen.
It's only his second field goal of the game, and of course his impact is felt in the way he's run the offense. 15 assists here tonight.
Well, he's responsible for 34 points then, right?
Yeah, exactly. 8 to go on the shot clock. Jalen.
Clear to floor. Jalen didn't have a lot of time here.
Pitches to Eddie Curry on the salvo to the rim, and it's back tapped on the rebound. Somebody got a piece of it. I'm not sure who. Might have been Griffin, the big rookie. Here's Collier. And Jalen Rose comes back the other way. Rose backing in on Norris. Wouldn't stay down. Griffin the rebound. No call. Looked like contact by Moochie Norris. Under a minute to go in the third, and the Rockets leading by 3. Off the screen by Collier. Morris hits the heel of the rim. And Hassel on the run for the Bulls. They do not have numbers. Hassel bumping with Norris, gets baseline, puts up a wild shot. Ill-advised. Norris pushing lead. Griffin, this will be easy.
Didn't get back. Griffin gets his first basket.
How many times do you see a bad shot on one end lead to an easy 2 on the other?
Well, I thought Hassel was trying to get to the free throw line on that play, but it never happened. And now the Bulls trail by 5, and they've got 10 seconds on the clock.
Crawford crossing over on the drive. Floater wouldn't stay. Collier the rebound. Rockets by 5. Moochie from center court. Well, Moochie Norris has just 4 points in this game, but 16 assists, a career high. And he gets a smile and a pat on the back from his head coach, Rudy Tomjanovich. The Rockets lead by 5 as we head to the 4th at the Compact Center in God. A couple of offensive rebounds on that end, weren't they?
Yeah.
Griffin sets a screen. Tierre Brown back into the game. Griffin for 3. Off the front of the rim. Hoiberg tried to steer the rebound. Brown gets in there for it. Nearly threw it away. Terrence Morris picks up in the corner. And the disheveled Rockets reset the offense. Mobley.
Everything coming off a screen. Nobody picking up the screener. If they do, they leave that other guy wide open.
Hoiberg. There's the second chance total for you. Much in favor of Houston as Rose gets fouled on the way to the basket. Fouls on Mobley. First on Mobley, first on the team. As you saw in the graphic a few moments ago, the Rockets outscored the Bulls 26-20 in that third quarter to take the 5-point advantage, and Jalen makes good on his first here in the fourth quarter. Join the Bulls players and coaches on Thursday, April 4th for Festibles, the annual dinner and sports auction to benefit charitables at the Berto Center in Deerfield. For tickets, 312-455-4000 or visit bulls.com, and we'll look forward to seeing you at Festibles. April 4th. Jalen makes good on a pair. 19 for Rose. Bulls haven't missed yet, have they? Oh, no, they've missed 1. Or have they?
No.
No, they're 13 for 13. At the free throw line. Mobley penetrating. Terrence Morris? No. Oakley. Jalen Rose. Oakley gets an open look. Charles now with 6 points in the game. Oakley has made good on all 3 of his field goal attempts. Mobley, kind of matter of fact, wasn't it? 21 for him. Rockets by 5 once again. Hoiberg, Crawford, Jalen Rose, Bogdanovich, and the oak tree in there for the Bulls. Jalen for 3, ring it up. Jalen beginning to heat up per usual in the fourth quarter. Almost 2 minutes into the final period. Mobley again left unattended, just inside the arc. Jalen upset with a teammate. He thought somebody should have picked him up. Indeed, they should have. 23 for Mobley. Crawford off a screen by Oakley. Oh, Collier sealed off Bogdanovich for the rebound. Mobley sent it up. Mobley and Brown the backcourt. Collier, Eddie Griffin, and Terrence Morris in the lineup up front.
Gully bar Bogdanovich.
That's his first on the team in the fourth quarter.
The Bulls playing that zone, and there's one man coming over setting the screen for Mobley, and nobody, they don't come out of that zone to defend him coming off.
And he's had one open shot after another.
Yeah.
And Jalen was expecting help the last trip. Mobley for 3. Bogdanovich kept it alive to Charles Oakley. Here comes Jamal. Offensive foul on Bogdanovich. I believe he was pushing off on Collier. No. Second on Dalibor. Quizzical look on the face of Bill Cartwright. Rudy T directing his club. They lead 83-79, trying for their first 4-game winning streak of the season. Here's Mobley. Gets by Jalen Rose. Dish off inside Collier. Had it knocked away. Oakley comes up with it.
Oh, man.
Hot potato to Rose
Jalen,
for 3.
another
Jalen
3.
again.
25 for Jalen. Back-to-back threes for him.
And the Bulls back to within 1. Coming up on 8.5 to go in the fourth. Mobley trying to clear around a screen by Collier. Brown penetrates just a bit. Eddie Griffin for 2. Collier on and the putback, no. Knocked around, saved by Terrence Morris. Mobley on the penetration, the finger roll.
Right down the middle. Right smack down the middle. Puts it up with the left hand, underhand.
25 for Mobley, 8 of which have come here in the fourth quarter. He nailed the go-ahead three-pointer against Seattle, a game in which he had 38 points earlier this week. Jalen from the outside trying to match him.
Oakley on the foul underneath. Baby foul. Oh, he's third.
Third on Charles, second on the team. And we get a media timeout. So timeout on the floor with 8:03 left to go. And the Rockets leading the Bulls by in Charlotte. Rockets resume offensively, leading by 3. Under 8 minutes to go in the fourth. Brown penetrates. Collier put the ball on the floor, nearly lost it. Mobley collecting with 8 to go on the shot clock. Rockets assemble quickly. Mobley double team. 4 to go, down to 3. Collier from the corner, heel of the rim.
Foul, yes, sir.
And it's going to be on Terrence Morris, a push off inside. His first. Second on the team. Jason Collier has a long way to go.
And the Bulls haven't lost their composure here. They've been down and they've.
Crawford accelerating to the right hand. Oh, what
right
a move
hand
at the baseline.
A driving hook shot.
Man. Jamal showed some length on that move to the bucket. 1-point lead, Houston. Crawford hedging on Brown. And the
now
foul
Oakley
called.
gives him another one, and it's a technical
Foul on Oak as he knocked Tierre Brown to the floor.
So.
Watch it again. Now, we'll show you the foul out front. It's on Jamal Crawford, who was trying to stay with his man around the screen.
All right, here comes the screen. They call a foul. already. He goes up, and then Oakley comes over and
just hammers him. So that's a technical foul, and Mobley shooting the team misses on the free throw. So Mobley, an 85% free throw shooter, and Bulls get a break there, and he misses, and the foul was not a shooting affair. Only the Bulls' third team foul. On the drive, Mobley penetrating, stripped away by Rose, picked off by Hoiberg. Here come the Bulls on the run. Crawford in the corner, the pull-up. Got a good look at it.
Yes,
Griffin the rebound.
Yes, he did.
Morris.
He beat him to the punch and then down the baseline. Morris laid it in.
And the Rockets again lead by 3. Pfizer back into the lineup for Chicago. Pfizer and Oakley up front, and then really a 3-guard offense with Hoiberg, Crawford, and Rose. Crawford 3, nope. Long carom to Rose.
Rose might take a look at a shot.
Jalen jumping into the lane. Jalen again, no. And the Rockets able to clear. Kenny Thomas the rebound. And here's Cuttino Mobley. Almost halfway through the 4th, and the Bulls trailing by 3. Been a good ball game.
What is that, isolation, or is there blood on Brown?
Yeah, Tierra Brown is going to have to come out. It looked like near his eye. Yeah, just under his eye, he's bleeding. So the officials stop the action with 8 seconds to go.
Norris is coming in.
Number 12, Richie Norris checks into the game for Tierra Brown.
That'll get Travis Best in the game as well for the Bulls, as he gets Jamal Crawford. Rockets have played well of late. You know, remember what got them behind the 8 ball this season was a 15-game losing streak when Steve Francis was on the injured list.
Bulls caught him on that streak, too.
Yeah, back in November, December. Oh, good move by Mobley into traffic, and he draws the foul. Made an up fake right away and then put it on the floor. Travis Best picks up his second. 4 on the team now. We've got a timeout on the floor. 5:56 to go in the 4th. Houston continues on the lead by 3. Up there to write it in, do they? Pretty high up. Probably wait till they get to the new building.
There
you know
you go.
You always put everything off to you. Wait till we get to the new building, everybody says. I thought Moses was in the hole. How could he not be, for goodness sakes? Cuttino Mobley puts in on his first at the line.
He's got all the points in this quarter except the basket by Terrence Morris that drove the baseline and went up for a layup.
6 minutes and 4 seconds gone by in this 4th quarter. Now the Rockets lead it by 5. 27 for Mobley. Travis Best sets it up. Bulls shooting at 44.6% from the field. Marcus backing in to the right hand. Nicely done. Pfizer's first 4th quarter field goal. He has 17 points in the game. Another strong effort for him. Rockets by 3. Thomas sets the screen. Norris driving baseline right back to the outside, and that's Griffin for 3. Hoiberg picks off the rebound. Bulls a chance to close to within 2 or tie the game on a triple. Rose pops open off a screen and hits behind the screen by Charles Oakley.
Great tempo when he comes off that screen. Listen.
No question about that. Rockets shooting at 45.7% from the field in the ball game so far. Cuttino Mobley watched by Hoiberg. Is he on fire in this 4th quarter or what? His 5th from the field in the 4th. He has 12 4th quarter points and 29 in the game. Stevie who? Jalen 3. Not that time.
Checking into the game for the Rockets, number 13.
Rockets lead by 3. Bill Cartwright, the Bulls head coach. Another stoic pose there. His team trying to hang in with a Houston club that's been playing very good basketball of late, as we've detailed. Moochie Norris picked up by Travis Best. Mobley whirling to the left. Beats everybody.
No help back there for
31 for Mobley, who has it stuck on automatic here with 4 minutes to go in the game, and the Rockets leading by 5.
He scored 16. He's got 14 of them in this quarter.
Trenton Hassel. Tough shot there, trying to bank it home. Cato the rebound. Rockets set it up. Moochie Norris
getting to that must-stop time of the game.
And if you're the Rockets, you can take a little time off the clock on each possession. Mobley chased by the hedge of Fizer, then throws it away. Fizer came over to help out on that play. May have forced the turnover. Rose on the drive, got bumped, banks it, and hits. No foul.
29 for him. What a 31 for Mobley, 29 for Rose.
Jalen with 12 here in the fourth, John.
Yep.
3-point lead, Houston, coming up on 3 minutes to go.
Bulls in foul trouble.
Moochie backing off on the dribble. Now pulls up. Glad to see somebody besides Cuttino Mobley shoot for the Rockets.
Yeah.
On that trip. My goodness. Jalen Rose. Oakley delivers the screen. Jalen on the drive against Cato to the reverse.
Beautiful move.
Johnny had to come under the rim to avoid Cato reaching over and blocking that shot. He used the rim as a screen against Cato, and Jalen Rose with 31 points in the game. Rose carrying the Bulls with a big shot blocker. Cato in pursuit. He uses the rim as a screen and bang. Well, you take a look at the two big scorers in this fourth quarter for the Bulls. Jalen Rose has 14 of the 20 Chicago points, hitting 5 of 9 from the field in the fourth quarter. And Cuttino Mobley, 6 of 8 from the field in the fourth quarter, has scored 14 of the 16 Houston Rockets points. Wow. What a duel we're seeing here, huh?
Well, Jalen has also come up with 8 rebounds, 5 assists, a couple steals, a block shot.
And there are the numbers for the game.
Yeah.
All right, 2:34 to go. Again, the Rockets, if you joined us late, are playing without Steve Francis, who did not dress for tonight's game. Been suffering the effects of headaches today. Missed the shoot-around as well. Moochie Norris sets it up for the Rockets. Kenny Thomas back into the game along with Walt Williams. Norris against Trenton Hassel. Bulls extend the defense here now. Thomas. Jalen Rose all alone for the rebound. Bulls are down by 1, can take the lead as we approach 2 minutes to go in the game. Here's Travis Best. Pass to Fizer denied by Cato, who knocked it out of bounds with 11 to go on the shot clock.
Yeah, Bill saying, didn't he come over the top of the...
Well, he sure did. It looked like it from our angle. Bill Cartwright demanding a call down there be made by the officials.
He hollered to Oakley when he wants a certain play run, and let's see what it is. I think he's going to screen for Jalen.
Here's Jalen Rose. He's had the hot hand. He squares short. Rockets have to save, and save to Oakley.
Look at this.
Rose for 3.
Hello! That was just a miscommunication on their part. Oakley got it. He couldn't find Rose.
And the Bulls lead it by 2.
The third three-pointer for Rose in this quarter. 34 in the game.
Norris off the dribble, gets a screen from Thomas. Penetrates on the drive. And 1. Will they count it? No, the whistle came well before the shot. Oh, and they're going to score the field goal. You got to be kidding me. That whistle was long before the shot.
Yeah, they got to talk about this.
The officials talking it over, getting some help from...
Score it. They're going to score it.
They're calling continuation on it. Let's see if we can pick it up here. Here's the bump right there. That was before he squared.
Yeah, it came down and then shot it on the way down.
Exactly. It didn't look like continuation from our point of view, but that's what they called. So Moochie Norris at the free throw line, looking for a three-point play.
Only the second basket in this quarter by anybody else besides Mobley.
And Norris gives Houston a 1-point lead. 96-95, 90 seconds to go in the game.
We got a barn burner here, boy.
Indeed we do, pal. Travis Best looking for some room, gets a screen from Jalen Rose, picked up on a switch by Walt Williams. Over to Rose now, back to Travis. 4-3, off the mark, but Oakley the rebound. Bill Cartwright up off the bench, signaling his team as to what he wants called, what he wants run here. On the drive, Best kicks it out to Hassel. Trenton penetrating into traffic, and a foul coming up.
That'll be their first foul in the last 2 minutes, so Bulls will get the ball out.
Cuttino Mobley's second personal foul.
Unless they wanted to give him a continuation.
No,
I don't think so.
Visitors don't get continuation calls like that.
No. You almost have to, if you're a Bulls fan, you want to see the ball with Best and Rose on that right side.
Here's Travis, and he heads to the right side, looking for Jalen.
Oh, Jalen pushed. Did he push off? No.
They've got a foul coming up on Walt Williams, his second.
And that puts him to the line.
Yes, it does, because it's 2 fouls in the last 2 minutes. Jalen Rose at the free throw line. Bulls down by 1. Rose has scored the last 9 Chicago points. Make it 10. Friday, April 5th, Bulls host the Toronto Raptors. It's Gatorade White Hen Pantry Night. While supplies last, all kids age 14 and under entering the United Center receive a Bulls mini ball, courtesy of Gatorade and White Hen Pantry. For tickets, 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or visit Bulls.com. And he drops a pair.
That's what he got. The opening night, the Bulls traded for him. Remember that? His first game.
36 to match the 36 he had that night against the New York Knicks. Jalen Rose trying to carry the Bulls to victory in Houston. Wayne Larrabee, Johnny Redcure, welcome back. This is a good one. The Bulls leading the Rockets by 1. And, you know, Red, from a turnover standpoint, this has been a very well-played game by both teams. The Rockets with just 8 turnovers in the game, and the Bulls with only 5, and their season low is
7 against Cleveland. And the opponent's low is 6. Orlando had 6, so this has been a very quick, very free turnover game. And now the Bulls with a 1-point lead, 55 seconds to go. Both teams in a penalty.
Houston ball. Walt Williams will inbound. Mobley, Norris, Cato, and Thomas complete the 5 on the floor for Rudy Tomjanovich. Hassel, Best, Jalen Rose. He had a foul here. Oh, no. They say that Jalen touched it out of bounds.
Oh, boy, that looked like it went off of the big guy's foot, Walt Williams' foot. But I tell you what, Jalen putting some pressure on here. I mean, not afraid to reach out.
Pfizer and Oakley on the floor for the Bulls, along with Trenton Hassel. Joining Best and Rose. Under a minute to go in the game. Bulls lead it by 1.
They'll be coming here to Mobley.
Mobley trying to clear. Hassel on him defensively. Bodies him. Mobley pulls up, fade away.
Oh, yes! What a shot!
33, Cuttino Mobley. Timeout, Chicago. 22nd time. Oh, they're taking a full. It'll be a full timeout now.
16 points in this quarter by Mobley, 17 by Rose, and we have had a shootout here in Houston.
Watch the step away here. Oh, I thought Trenton almost got a piece of it. He was just short on the reach. What a shot by Mobley.
And look at the time on the clock as it goes up there, Wayne. He's trying to get himself together. He's got to get the shot up. 2 seconds was on that clock.
Wow. Cuttino Mobley carrying the Rockets here in this 4th quarter. And let's take a look at the situation. The game reset. As you look in on the Rockets huddle, the Bulls have 1 full timeout and 1:20 left. The Rockets have 1 22nd timeout left. Neither side has a foul to give in this situation.
You know what surprised me the first half? Both teams went to the locker room with a 20-second timeout.
Yeah.
Normally, you take those all night, but both teams are in foul trouble. The Bulls have the advantage when it comes to timeouts. They'll have the ball in their possession. 32.1 on the clock. Zing.
The Bulls have not won here in Houston, John, since April of 1998. Michael Jordan had 40 points in a 109-94 Chicago victory in that game here in Houston. The Rockets, meanwhile, 17-17 at home, 8-22 on the road, 25-39 overall. And there has been the man of the moment. Cuttino Mobley in this fourth quarter has been spectacular with 16 of the 21 Houston points.
Well, when they score 98, they are 8-11. Let's hope they stay on that because they get a little bit better when they go over that mark.
Yeah.
So you've got Best, you've got Oakley, you've got Pfizer, Hassel, and Rose for the Bulls.
And for the Rockets, Moochie Norris, Cuttino Mobley, the shot blocker Kelvin Cato, Kenny Thomas, and Walt Williams. Bulls basketball inside court. Oakley will trigger.
Don't come down to a flop.
32.1 remaining in the game. Bulls are down by 1. Travis Best. Jalen Rose trying to clear, and he does on the wing. Trying to take Walt Williams. Isolation for Rose. 10 to go in the shot clock. Jalen turning baseline. Now the jumper. No. Pfizer the rebound. The putback. No. Pfizer again. Foul. Finally.
Pfizer fouled on the play. Jalen took some time off the clock, put a perfect rebound up. Everybody had to get to the basket. Pfizer, with one of the big rebounds for him tonight, gets underneath the basket, grabs a rebound, misses. Here's the shot. He misses the shot coming up, but his momentum carries him right back into it. He grabs it, goes up, and then draws the foul. So
Kenny Thomas on the foul. Pfizer to tie the game on this free throw.
Oh, the Bulls were perfect up until that time, weren't they?
Yep. They're now 15 of 16 from the free throw line. And Marcus Pfizer with a chance to tie the game here. 66.5% from the free throw line for Pfizer this season. For the tie with 8.2 to go. And he ties it. Marcus, a tough free throw, clutch free throw there. If there's a tough free throw, that's a tough situation for a free throw. You've got the game hanging in the balance. The Rockets get the basketball with 8.2 remaining as Marcus Pfizer splits a pair at the line, and we're tied at 98 apiece.
All right, this one could be headed a little bit for the OT situation, but they will have the ball at half. Oh, let's see, they took a 20. They only had a 20-second timeout left, so they don't have any other timeouts. They'll have the ball at the end of the court.
And Red, if you're the Bulls, you're pressuring all the way, right?
You've got to be pressuring all the way, but you're going to be caught out of position a little bit too if you do that. Everybody's scattering and running around. Let's see what they try to do here.
There are the leading scorers for the Bulls here tonight.
All right, they'll get the ball at half court now. Man, look at how far up they put this. They've moved this.
Well, you have the option on a timeout to get the ball at center court.
Right. I mean, this is the center court.
No, this is well up there.
15 feet past it.
He inbounds to Mobley. He's 7 of 9 from the field in the fourth quarter. Moochie Norris forces one up. Banked it, no good. Rose the rebound. Overtime. We go to overtime.
Well, Rose went to throw that ball, and he got hooked by Cato. Hurt his arm. His arm has been hyperextended. Well, here it is. There's a shot. You see the clock running down. They do force it out of Mobley's hands into Mookie Norris. He makes a fake on Best, comes off the grass. And there he hooks his arm. Wow.
And now we get an overtime period. Well, it's hard to say that either team had momentum coming out of that as the way the quarter wound down to the fourth. But Marcus Fizer had an opportunity at the free throw line. He had a 2-shot foul, missed the first. If he made 2 shots, he would have given the Bulls a 1-point lead. But after the disappointment of missing the first, Marcus made a clutch, and I mean a tough clutch, second free throw. Clutch and difficult under those circumstances to get the game tied. So give Fizer credit for that. There's the marquee matchup for the game. Nearly identical stats for these two outstanding performers here tonight.
26-21, the Bulls outscored them in that final quarter, and we start where we did. It's 7:30 here in Houston. A little jump ball at center. We got 5-minute game left.
It'll be Oakley on the tip with Kelvin Cato. And now Oakley says he'll let Fizer take it. Marcus has a little more spring in those legs than the oak tree. Cato should win this tap anyway.
Oh, look
but
at
the
this.
Bulls control.
Yeah.
A little quicker jumper is Fizer. First possession of overtime. Good to have you with us tonight. Hassel had to switch hands. Fizer chasing down.
Call a timeout. No, he was over the line. He couldn't do it. That's the old rule when you can do that. He might have wanted to flip it in, but
yeah, as long as you're in play and in midair, you can call the timeout. But once you cross the line, and here's the replay.
Hassel misses the shot, goes up, and then just trying to get that ball out of bounds.
Yeah, see, he's over the line, so good call by the officials. Kenny Thomas against Fizer.
It's been tough from outside.
Takes him off the dribble. Tough shot there. Marcus played him well. Travis Best down with the rebound. And on the move. Skip pass Oakley over to Rose. Rose with the up fake. Way off, but chased down by Hassel.
Oh!
Saved to Travis Best.
He threw a looper out there.
You thought he was throwing it to you, right?
Yeah. All right, it might go down to Fizer this time. We'll see. But here's a screen roll with Rose.
Best clears. Mobley the rebound. Nobody scored yet in the overtime. Walt Williams. This is Mobley against Hassel. He just stands there flat-footed, John, raises up and hammers it, doesn't he?
Deadly shooter.
Wow. 35 for Mobley.
This might be the most points I've seen by two left-handers put up in a game.
Yes. In the same game, you're right. 8 to go on the shot clock for the Bulls. Hassel penetrating, whirling. Fizer's got an open look, top of the key, and buries it. Marcus with 20. And we're tied at 100. Under 3 minutes to go in overtime.
This has gotten down to be a half-court game, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. I think the energy is, these guys are just trying to hang on right now. Like a couple of fighters in the 12th round. Williams throws it away. Steal. Travis Best on the run for the Bulls. Right down the middle. And it's blocked by Cato. Kept it in play. What a play by Cato. Moochie Norris is fouled by Oakley.
It won't count as they come down and final slam it, but Oakley made the good play. Boy, what a play down here that Cato made. Best saw an opening. Now look at this. He sees the opening. He comes on down.
Cato with the block, kept it in play.
He spoiled his shot, and that's what the nice thing is.
Watch this now. Again, from behind, those long arms, and he keeps it in play. Didn't knock it out of bounds.
They're averaging like 9 block shots in the last 5 games, and they've really been, the defense has been real good.
And Cato and the rookie Eddie Griffin are the kingpins of the block party for the Rockets. Each averaging over a block a game, close to 2 blocks a game apiece.
Oakley talking with Norris.
8 block shots by the Rockets here tonight. Who nearly a turnover there.
He hurt himself. Kenny hurt himself. It looked like he. No, he just slipped down on the.
I think he slipped on a piece of debris or something. Moochie Norris. Walt Williams clears to Norris. 6 to go on the shot clock. Norris loses the handle on it. Gets it away in time. short. And a shot clock violation. Pfizer the rebound anyway.
They kicked that ball around and kicked it around. I thought maybe they were going to call a violation for kicking the ball. A lot of times your opponent gets that, but rarely do you get one call. But that time they came up with a timeout for the Bulls. 2:09 in this overtime.
Trenton Hassel and company. Jalen Rose head back to the bench. In overtime so far, it's a 2-2 tie. Is there a field goal for the Bulls?
Yeah, I mentioned about no fast breaks. The Bulls in the game actually had 19 points to 9 in fast breaks, and we need maybe one more.
Jalen Rose, 2 minutes ago in the overtime. Rose steps back and hits.
38, his biggest point total. He's coming to the Bulls. He also has scored 38 against the Bulls.
Kenny Thomas. Pfizer plays him defensively. Thomas across the lane.
Beautiful move. Thomas, most of his damage has been outside, Wayne, but that time he took it right hard.
Thomas and Walt Williams both very capable of putting the ball on the floor if you run at him too much. And Pfizer played him well, but Thomas is a very good move. 90 seconds to go in the game. Tied at 102. Pfizer delivers the screen for Jalen Rose. Switch. Pfizer being guarded by Walt Williams down low. And now what do we have?
Williams on a foul on Pfizer.
He was trying to hold Marcus.
Yeah, but that's only their first.
That's his third, the first in the last 2 minutes.
But first in the last 2 minutes.
Right. His third. Screen, and there he's trying to fight him for position underneath. He's got to get it back in Jalen's hand, I would think.
And here he is. Rose. Marcus Pfizer, isolation for him. Time expired on the shot clock.
Yep. I don't know if there was a block shot. Bill really upset. He wants that ball moved.
Marcus didn't realize it. And he got down on the block, pounded the dribble. And the shot clock went off. So now the Rockets an opportunity to take the lead as we approach a minute to go in overtime. Kenny Thomas against Pfizer again. Beats him on the drive. Pfizer went down, no foul. Here comes Travis Best as Thomas came up short of the shot. To Jalen Rose. Bulls can take the lead here.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful bounce feed to Hassel for the flush.
Great play. Wide open. Hassel sneaks in. You forget about him, and he hammers down one.
But just a great pass on a one hop to the baseline by Jalen Rose. Mobley was fouled by Hassel. No, I beg your pardon. They're calling the foul on Travis Best. Watch a moment ago. Watch this right here.
Beautiful pass underneath to Hassel. And he deposits it, gives them a lead. They'll have the ball out in front of our bench with 14 seconds on the clock, 23.5 on the game clock, but there's another look at it.
You saw Cato, like a hockey goalie, try to kick it away.
Right. Wow.
Jalen Rose visiting with the coaches on the bench. Here is a flashback to the fourth quarter earlier tonight. The shootout between Mobley and Rose. Jalen begins. Cuttino, Mobley right back.
Now this is like a game of horse. There's Mobley outside with a jump shot. Well, what do you got for me to answer to that? Well, I got one for you.
In the overtime and fourth quarter, 18 points for Cuttino, Mobley, and 21 points for Jalen Rose in the fourth quarter and overtime period.
Now these guys are both lefties. They both got a ton of points. And guess what else, guys, if anybody hasn't noticed? They're both wearing uniform 5. I mean, you talk about two guys that are images, mirror images of himself in the game tonight. It's been terrific.
It has been great theater. You see, Red, that's why you're here. It's that kind of observation.
Absolutely.
The rest of us, that just kind of goes by the board. But you see the little things.
Even though I'm going to be late for my St. Patrick's Day party, I'm enjoying myself here, Wayne.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There we go. They hide everybody out there.
So they'll put it in play right in front of the Bulls bench. And again, I mentioned 23-5 left in the overtime. 14 left for their possession.
2 timeouts for the Bulls and a 20.
Both teams now in a penalty lane too.
Yep. 23.5 remaining. Bulls by 2. The inbound to Kenny Thomas. Moochie Norris trying to get it to Walt Williams. Norris again from the outside for 3. Wow! Moochie Norris.
What a finish he's putting on his game. 10 points now to go along with 16 assists, a career high for him, and it gives them a 1-point lead.
But plenty of time for the Bulls to get a good shot.
Right.
They're down by 1, 12 seconds to go. Down by 1 because of this play right here.
They wanted to get the ball to Mobley. They couldn't get it in his hands, and up he goes with the shot.
He got Travis Best in a flat foot position here. Watch Travis, he's on his 2 feet flat, and then just raised up to Moochie Norris and hit the triple. His first tray of the game. The Rockets are just 4 of 17 out of the arc, but none bigger than that shot right there that elevated Houston to a 1-point lead with the 12 seconds to go in the game. And the line on Moochie Norris is very good. Rudy Tomjanovich, what a job he's done with this team. They've had to overcome a plethora of injuries, including the loss of Maurice Taylor, their starting power forward, out due to an Achilles tendon, out all season. And Glenn Rice went down with a knee injury.
Kevin Willis is out also, isn't he?
He's on the injured list. He's placed on the injured list this week. Don't forget, standing by, WGN News immediately following the game.
Well, where are the Bulls going to take this ball? They're going to take it up on the right-hand side, left to right on your dial. And they just asked for the Houston fans to get to their feet. Bulls down by 1, 105. There's 105, 104, 12 seconds. Both teams in foul trouble. Bulls do have a timeout if they need it.
Jalen Rose on the inbounds. Travis Best, Trenton Hassel. The backcourt along with Rose. Jalen plays the 3 spot. Charles Oakley, Marcus Fizer on the floor for the Bulls. Here's the inbounds. Fizer right back to Jalen. Under 10 seconds to go. Rose on the drive against Walt Williams. Manufactures a shot. It's short. Loose on the floor. Picked up by the Rockets. Kenny Thomas is fouled on the play.
Well, I'll tell you what. Rose thought he went into a traffic jam and got hit. Bill Cartwright beside himself now.
Jalen picks up the foul.
Let's see what happened here. It looked like Jalen went into a pack of players here.
Yeah, he got bumped big time by Walt Williams.
Absolutely, the ball never reached the.
That's why the shot came up short. And then as Kenny Thomas cleared, Jalen reached out and grabbed him. And Jalen's got a good beef with the officials. He got bumped hard on that drive.
Yeah, he did. And the officials say there was no contact. Absolute terrific body contact. Thomas makes the free throw.
So now Houston with a 2-point lead. He can make it 3 right here. It's no question. Jalen Rose now he debates with another official.
Yeah,
continues.
The officials are looking him off, and
But
the Bulls have yet, you're just looking for a fair call.
Yeah,
Timeout.
Timeout.
Quick,
all right, it's a 2-point ball game. 1.6 to go. So the Bulls will have one last shot at it, either to win or get it to a second overtime. We'll be back. On the clock for the Chicago Bulls, trailing by 2. So Johnny, a chance here. You get the ball in front court, and you could get a good look at it possibly if you can get somebody free or a quick turn to the 3, or if you've got somebody in closer, take the 2, go to double overtime.
Well, I don't think you can take a dribble to the basket.
No, it's got to be a catch, more or less a catch and shoot situation. But you do have time to catch and set. You're not going to get a drive to the basket.
So if you get the ball out past close to half court, you're in deep trouble. You got to get it.
Hassel will inbound. Pfizer, Hoiberg, Rose, and Best on the floor. Hassel on the inbound. Looking for somebody to clear. Gets it to Travis Best. One dribble. The jumper.
Yeah! It is yes! It is good. And we're tied. How the Bulls tie it up with a last-second jumper by Best out of the corner.
Travis Best in desperation gets us to a second overtime.
Oh, watch this. They're trying to get the ball to Rose. They can't get it as he pops out high, but look at Best come out underneath.
Watch the clock in the right-hand corner. One dribble, got it away just in time.
Yes, sir.
Just inside the arc.
The defender hits the deck.
Travis, one dribble, clears Kenny Thomas and drills it. Nothing but the bottom of the net. To a second overtime we go. Big in the waning second of the game.
Not much time on here. Hassel gets him the ball as he comes out from the screen. He takes one dribble to get his composure together and knocks it down, and he's met by Jalen Rose, who picks him up, hugs him, takes him across the floor. The Bulls will have another 5-minute game here, mini game.
So
8 points apiece scored in the quarter.
Overtime, yeah.
I mean, in that 5-minute quarter.
So here we go. Travis Best back on the floor for the Bulls. Trenton Hassel, Jalen Rose, Charles Oakley, the Rockets, Kelvin Cato, Kenny Thomas, Walt Williams, Cuttino Mobley, Moochie Norris. Double overtime here at the Compact Center.
51 minutes for Jalen Rose in this game. 51 for Mobley.
Yep. So their identical line continues, right?
No game tomorrow.
And these are young guys, right?
Right.
So we're underway. Rockets control the tip here in this overtime. Kenny Thomas stepped away from Pfizer. Kenny Thomas continues his fine play. Now 24 points. Travis to Jalen Rose. Pfizer backing in. Heel to the rim and Cato the rebound.
Almost looked like he tried to shoot it too quick so Cato wouldn't block it.
Yep. Certainly Cato's presence influenced that shot, no doubt. Pfizer defending Thomas. And Thomas again steps away. Headed halfway down, wouldn't stay. Oaktree the rebound for the Bulls. Here comes Jalen. To Pfizer. Against Cato. Marcus moved the ball. Offensive foul. Cato flopped on it. Oh, boy. Third on Pfizer.
He doesn't get the whole body out on him. He gets just a half a body, and that's a tough, well.
Nah, he didn't get much of him. Cato sold that. Credit the defender. I mean, part of it in this league is selling these officials. They can be sold, I'm told. Mobley.
As long as they can't be bought, that's right.
Thomas inside. Good play by the Rockets, and now
24 for Thomas now. Backdoor play.
Bulls are up against it, down by 4. Under 3.5 to go in overtime number 2. Rose off a double screen.
He may go 3 here.
Jalen on the drive, got pushed. Yes! Will they score continuation? The whistle before the shot attempt.
No.
No, it's on the floor. They're calling it on Kenny Thomas.
his fifth.
That's his sixth.
Six fouls on Kenny Thomas. He's out of here.
Well, this is the one very similar to the one that Mookie Norris got.
Yep. They gave Moochie the continuation on it. They did not give it to the Bulls.
Well, the foul was on.
Now what do they call it?
Well, Griffin is in the game. Oh, I think he was telling me he had 37 seconds left to get a player in there.
Now we're ready to go. Bulls are down by 4. Here's Jalen Rose. Picked up by Griffin on the switch. Jalen over the top. Rockets Kelvin Cato on the rebound.
Cato with his 16th rebound of the game.
And the Bulls need a stop here in the worst way. Down by 4. We've slipped under 3 minutes to go in overtime number 2. Moochie Norris. Mobley played tight by Trenton Hassel. Mobley circle roots, time wound down on the shot clock. Did not get the shot off in time.
He made that shot too, coming around that screen, but Bulls pretty good defense by Hassel to keep him from picking that ball up.
Outstanding defense by Hassel. Delayed the Rockets from being able to go to Mobley. So they got the big stop. Now can they step up on the offensive end to get right back into it? Down by 4 in overtime. Travis Best. There it is. 14 for Travis, and the Bulls back to within 2 as we've slipped under 2.5 to go in overtime. Moochie Norris watched by Travis Best. Mobley picked up by Hassel. Mobley on the dribble. Quick raise. Hassel got a piece. Knocked out of bounds by Oakley.
Oh, man. Hassel got just a little piece of that ball. They're going to take it 20. They got 5 seconds on the clock, and they went 20 seconds. Let's take a look at this.
So we will step away for a moment. Bulls hanging right in there, trailing by. What defense on this last trip, really a key.
Yeah, a little piece of the ball he gets with the left hand, and Oakley trying for the rebound, taps it out of bounds. Take another look at it. Just with a fingertip on it.
Just a fingertip.
5 seconds on this clock now.
So it'll be Houston basketball. Baseline left. There's the block shot story. 9 for the Rockets. Norris on the inbounds, waiting, still looking. Finally clears it in to Eddie Griffin. He had a notion for 3. Now time winding down. The shot comes up short off the front of the rim.
Another
violation.
Yeah, that's 2 in a row now the Bulls have put on them. They still trail by 2 with 2:02.
So back-to-back shot clock violations against the Rockets in their last 2 possessions. Under 2 minutes to go in the game. Bulls trail by 2. Pfizer the screen. Travis Best picked up on a switch by Cato. Pfizer down low with Moochie Norris. And Norris nearly stole it. And it's going to belong to Houston. Apparently Pfizer touched it last. Travis was trying to take advantage of the mismatch down low. Pfizer on Moochie Norris. But watch this post defense by the little man.
Now, they said Pfizer hit it out of bounds.
Sure looked like it.
Boy.
Yeah. Tough break for the Bulls, who need another stop here.
Bulls only their 7th turnover in this double overtime game. They've done a great job.
Norris driving baseline. And it's stolen by Pfizer on the miss pass. Here's Rose. Change of direction to the baseline.
Oh, yeah. 40 points for Jalen Rose.
Tied at 110. Jalen thought he got hit on that play as well. No foul call.
Jalen scored 43 points in the opener this season with Indiana. Now he comes back.
Cato, good catch there. Unable to finish. Oh, Rose hit hard, no foul call. Now Jalen will take it back the other way. Bulls under a minute to go. A chance to take the lead right here. Jalen Rose pulls up. Off a screen by Oakley, the jumper.
And he's down on it again. 42. Jalen.
And the Bulls take the lead, 112-110. It's coming up roses for the Bulls tonight here in Houston. Jalen Rose just inside the stripe, and the Bulls have the lead. Well, Jalen Rose on the last 2 trips for the Bulls has picked him up, put him on his shoulders, and carried them into the lead.
Absolutely. Here he goes around Williams, a little fake up in the air. He gets Griffin up in the air. Good shot blocker. He knocks that one off the glass.
See how high off the glass?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And here was the big one. Oakley uses just a little bit, and then he fades back on the shot, drops it in. 42 points for Jalen. His most as a Chicago Bull. 43 is his career high.
Rockets resume offensively.
Bulls still not in foul trouble here, so we'll see what happens.
Cuttino Mobley gets by Hassel. Quick pull-up. Jumper rims out. And a foul on Charles Oakley against Kelvin Cato on the rebound.
Boy, oh boy. Big rebound. Cato, 16 rebounds for him, and Oakley picks up a foul, his 5th. Gives him another shot at it, and it takes the Bulls out of that protective area in less than 2 minutes in a foul.
Right. They have, that's their first foul of the last 2 minutes of the overtime. Moochie Norris sets it up. Eddie Griffin trying to clear. Now they get it to Cuttino Mobley. Mobley driving on Hassel. His fall away is right there. Boy, oh boy. Cuttino Mobley, tough shot there. Ties the ball game at 112. Plenty of time for the Bulls. Jalen Rose advances.
I would be surprised if it leaves Jalen's hand.
Time winding down. Tied at 112.
Everybody on their feet.
1 shot left in this overtime. Can Jalen Rose get the Bulls through?
They have a foul to take. They have a foul to take.
Rose is fouled as he makes his move. 2.5 remaining. I think Bill Cartwright wanted the Bulls to go quicker on that.
Bulls will take a timeout now.
2.5 remaining. Well, they tied the game in the first overtime with 1.8 seconds remaining. Can they win it with 2.5 to go? This overtime period, the Rockets led by 4 at one juncture. Bulls able to catch him and pass him, led by 2, and then Mobley turning away from Hassel here. Boy, it's hard to fault the defense there, John Kerr.
Right.
Outstanding defense. Just a great shot by Cuttino Mobley to tie the game. And Jalen Rose, his work tonight, 1 off a career high set earlier this season, as you mentioned. 2.5 remaining.
Let's see if Oakley goes and hunts down Jalen's man.
Travis Best will inbound. Oakley, Pfizer are the big people in there. Jalen Rose trying to clear off a screen. It goes to Jalen. Rose spinning, pulls up the jumper. Yeah! Reyes! And Reyes! Bulls win this one. Winner. It's 114 to 112.
44 big points for Jalen. Wow. Unbelievable shot by Jalen Rose. Oh, brother.
Jalen Rose carries the Bulls to victory. Literally. Watch it again.
Yeah. All right.
I promised you a replay. We'll get it up there, folks. Here we go. Take a look at this. Jalen Rose finally clears. And watch this. Makes a pirouette move. Now reloads the shot and right down the well. Watch again. Watch his hands. He kind of had to reshuffle the ball just a slight bit and then down the well.
44 points for Jalen Rose. They went to their big man, and he did the job.